My name is Hubert. I'm the training director for the Centre for Bioethical Reform UK. Yeah, I've been brought up in a pro-life Christian family. I've been actively pro-life since I was about 15 when I saw a video which depicted the reality of an abortion procedure. And from seeing that procedure, I was like, I can't do nothing about this anymore, I have to do something. And so I started volunteering for the organisation Abort 67 and just exposing it and letting the public see what abortion does to the unborn child. I guess you could say it's like Holocaust War Memorial imagery. When you see the broken bodies of people who have been killed in a genocide, in one of the greatest human rights violations, you're like, how can this be happening? And when we have 1 in 3 women having at least one abortion, you think, how can that be happening? And when you see that image, you're like, well, they mustn't know the truth. And so that imagery got me, seeing that reality, and it was like, well, if it's changed my mind, it must change others as well. And doing this work, I've seen so many minds changed by them simply seeing the reality of abortion. Because abortion's been so covered in euphemisms like choice, reproductive freedom, healthcare, that people believe that's what it is. But when you strip that back and just say, okay, this is what that choice looks like, then things really begin to change and minds are opened. It's not a religious issue, it is a human rights violation. I think you can be atheist, you can be Muslim, you can be Jewish, Christian, and be against the killing of an innocent human being. So this is totally to do with human rights. I believe that men have one of the most important roles in this battle. Because if you think about it in the context of war, it was the men who go out to war to protect and to defend women and children. And this is the same kind of situation we're in right now. We need men to arise as defenders, protecting women and defending their children. So it's absolutely important that every man feels a sense of responsibility in this. It is so important that there is unity within the pro-life movement and unity between people throughout all spheres on this issue. And the March for Life is so important at building that unity and letting us feel like actually together we can end abortion. So I think it's so important that we get active, we march today, but more importantly than that, we march tomorrow and the next day in whatever sphere of influence that we have. Be that whether you're in politics, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a mum, or whether you're a student, march out in your sphere and take this message further than the 4 walls and even where we're going today. London was where the 1967 Act was passed. This is 50 years of genocide and of bloodshed. It is so important that we draw this issue back to the heart of the nation and say this is what 50 years of abortion looks like. And so it's so important that we march in the capital and bring this message to the heart of the nation. I believe that one of the greatest issues that the pro-life movement can face is a sense of hopelessness, a sense of feeling small or feeling outnumbered or looking at the enemy and thinking, oh, they're well-resourced, they're well-funded, they're so big, they're in every sphere. I think that we must guard ourselves against that and even think back to those great victories that were won. Even when we think back to the world wars, there were defeats all the way along the way until there was that victory. And in the same way, when you look throughout the scripture as well, you see it was Gideon. It was God reduced the army down just to 300 people to show his glory. And he loves to use the small things, the weak things of this world, to shame the wise and to conquer great evils. So I think that we mustn't lose sight of the victory, basically, and keep pressing on for that, even though it feels like we're small. Life from conception, no exception.